Hey everyone, for an economy that seems to be on fire and leading the world as far as GDP growth for 2017, the people that cover economics or business in Canada, and this is in regards to a CBC article, is they seem to be very much concerned, as you must realize at this stage of the game. They just can't stop talking about interest rates, right? I mean, how many articles now? I mean, I've got them all stockpiled and saved and archived. But I mean, at this stage game, just in 2017 alone, I don't know how many dozens and dozens of articles that's been put forth and presented regarding interest rates. And when they're going up or down, although now they're starting to creep up, it's usually like by 0.25%, like 25 basis points. So a quarter of a percent. But yet every time it happens, there's like this massive amount of news propaganda and media sensationalizing about the fact that, is the central bank going to raise interest rates this quarter? Or are they going to keep things, at the current level, status quo? It's like under the current environment, when you talk about interest rates at what? In Canada, the central bank interest rate is 1%. The fact that every time, whether it's going to go up by, a quarter of a fucking percentage point, the fact that these media hacks and these news outlets talk about it as if in some aspect, the sky's going to fall. Well, what are you talking about? How do you put those things together? Where out one side of your mouth you're saying the economy is doing great. Woohoo! We're on fire. We're killing everybody. Look at how quick we're growing. But, don't start increasing interest rates because actually we can't really afford that. Well, wait a minute. I thought the economy was doing great. Think about it. Whether you're a personal individual, a family setting, or the government, if a quarter percentage rate increase has any effect on your personal economic situation or your societal economic situation or the centrally planned economic situation, well, that whole pretense that you were trying to put forth out the other side of your mouth where the economy's on fire and doing so great and we're number one leading the pack as far as economic growth, well, that sounds a bit out of touch with what you're saying about the other side of your mouth, right? So what is it? Which one is it? They don't fucking know. And because they're just a bunch of political propagandists and sensationalized type media outlets, like what I consider today, CBC is no more than a tabloid, like a sensationalized tabloid or The Inquirer. So to take them fucking serious, especially when you're talking about the economy, come on. I mean, you can't take anyone at the CBC serious. These people have nothing. They have no idea how to function in the private sector. The CBC, it gets their funding through forced income redistribution, right? Through robbing the taxpayers or future generations to sustain their incomes. What the hell would these people know? And the people that they fucking look to contribute to these outlets, what the fuck would like someone like Don Pittis or any of these dipshits know about actual market fundamentals or proper economics? They have no clue. Come on, you're talking about people that haven't even fucking learned how to step out on their own and deal with economic situations without having this gigantic, massive safety net or bureaucratic state that can, forcefully wealth redistribute or income redistribute or take from others to supplement their own fucking ineptness. If you're paying attention to these people enough that you actually believe anything they say, like you have got to be the most naive fucking Canadian that has ever lived. I mean, come on. Anyways, headline, CBC News business analysis. Once bitten, twice shy as markets wait for Pola's interest statement. Don Pittis. Could jobs boom give Bank of Canada reason for another surprise increase of borrowing rates? Well, I mean, before we even get into the article, I mean, come on, Don. Are you really that fucking inept? You don't notice the pattern after all these years that, these increase in jobs, especially at this time of year, they're a direct reflection of the fact that Christmas season is upon us, right? Spending season, consumption season is now quickly approaching and upon us. Like, what the hell? But they pretend like this. Oh, come on. Like, Don, I don't know how this fucking guy, Don Pittis, really, I mean, What kind of contract has this guy got that they still keep using him as a reference source for economic or business reports? Wow. Because I tell you, you're getting ripped off, Canada, if this is the guy that's constantly telling you the information. And at this point, you must start wondering, is Don schizophrenic? Is he bipolar? Because one minute he's saying one thing, the economy's awesome. The other minute it's like, oh, the sky's falling. It's like, Jesus. Make up your mind, Don. But we get it. You get your talking points from your political masters, and you just run with them because, hey, your paycheck relies on it. Hey, Don. When predicting whether the Bank of Canada will adjust interest rates, there has been a long-standing rule of thumb. The unwritten rule has been that when the bank's governor makes an adjustment in interest rates, he addresses the public by meeting the business media as a news conference to explain his actions. Forward guidance, right? Oh, we need you to tell us what's going on. Oh, Polas, oh, master, central banker, please tell us so we know how to react. Really? He seems pretty perilous. That kind of reaction seems, you need someone to lead you by your hand constantly and give you forward guidance? Jesus. Well, your economy seems to be built on a glass house, right? Because it looks like it can shatter pretty quickly if you don't have that forward guidance, right? In September, the current bank governor, Stephen Polas, surprised markets by breaking that rule. And there are some market watchers who are predicting he could do it again tomorrow. Oh no, he might actually increase rates when we haven't been suspecting it or expecting it. Oh no, what are we going to do? Those who don't follow central bank closely may not know that all Bank of Canada interest rate policy statements are not created equal. At some, the governor and his deputy, Carolyn Wilkins, appear in public to answer questions about the reason for the interest rate decision. On other occasions, the policy statement is released as a brief written document with no chance for a public Q&A session. In September, Polas fooled a lot of market traders by raising interest rates without scheduling a news conference. The evidence that markets were surprised was a sudden leap in the Canadian dollar. So, he didn't give them forward guidance, right? These central planners, these fucking market manipulators, they didn't give us forewarning. So what does that tell you? The economy's built on a house of fucking cards. It's built on this pretense of we need central planners, the central bank, the ones that manipulate interest rates and print money at will, right? We need them to tell us how the market's doing. We need them to put forth, present their narrative, and without them, we don't know what the hell's going on. That's basically what they're admitting. Because in reality, you fuckers know the real economy is fucked. The economy that the central bank and the government has created, this Ponzi, this false economy that's built off nothing but printing money, right? Counterfeit and central planning mandates and dictates that only creates wealth for the very, very top 0.0 whatever percent of the people that are the insiders, right? The bureaucrats, the inside traders, the market manipulators, the crony corporates. Yeah, they're the ones that you seem more concerned with, but the average person, it's like, fuck you guys, we don't care. We only care if we get to make out like bandits at your expense. As in the run-up to the September rate hike, this time around, a majority of economists polled by Financial Wire Services doubt interest rates will rise. So it's just a hedge. They're hedging their bets, and they're just, like I say, it's just like a fucking casino, and they're all playing these games where they just hedge their bets and make these gigantic gambles on the market, on the economy, and whether they win or lose, they don't even give a shit about what that happens to the rest of society. Like they're, oh damn, we won or we lost, but oh fuck, in the meantime, yeah, we caused massive economic or financial pain for millions of people, but all we care about is, did we win the bet? Jeez. While only a few are predicting the bank's target for an overnight rate will go from 1% to 1.25%, they included some well-known corporate names, including Moody's, Deutsche Bank, and Central One Credit Union, a payment processor for credit unions in BC and Ontario. This time, none of the big Canadian banks have added their voice on the side of a rate hike. In September, it was different. Even economists at CIBC and Scotiabank were among those predicted an increase, and one of the reasons was a surprising economic number that had just come out of the week before. But I mean, as we've seen time and time. These economic reports, hey, depend on where they want to pick out the numbers, right? Certain sections of the particular report, they can manipulate to sound good or bad or somewhere in between, whatever suits their personal preference or the dominant narrative that they want to present to the people. But this is just more evidence. Anyways, that's all I'm going to read from this article. I'll post a link to it in the description of the video below. I mean, come on. The fact that these people are constantly just so enamored and concerned with these interest rates when they're at like historical low record levels where like I say 1%, and if they do increase it, it might be 1.25%. But it's like, well, we need to know. But yet the economy's doing great. Right? Those two things, I mean, look at it, like that, they're colliding. They're not meshing together. And the reason why they're colliding because it's bullshit. It's propaganda. It's lies, right? It's them trying to create some kind of animal spirits among the people, among the populace. But it's like, well, if the people are massively broke, you might be able to create and stir up their animal spirits, but you're just causing them to be fucking in a position that's going to be quite perilous in their economic future, right? It's like you're pulling all the good stuff forward right now, but the pain's going to come later. You know, this extending and pretending, this kicking the can down the road, it's starting to get boring. It's starting to get tiresome. That's why I don't play in these games anymore. Like, I'm not foolish enough. And, well, even I am savvy enough, but I just, there's something in my psyche, in my core that tells me, even though I would probably be able to dominate if I was, playing these games, right? Ultimately, I know that there would be a lot of really good people that would be harmed as a result. Yeah, I would benefit from it. I know I would benefit from it because I've proven over the last few years that if I were playing these games, I'd be a wealthy man if I chose to delve into these kind of economic endeavors and bet against or hedge against these central planning dictates or mandates or the false premises or propaganda they put forth to present. I know, I see it coming, so just like a lot of people today, and I got nothing against the capitalists, the vulture capitalists, or that's making money. It's like, hey, you choose to play the game. I hold myself to a little higher standard because in the end of the day, I'm the kind of person that, money doesn't rule my world. Nobody rules my world. I am that independent, and like I say, I don't know if it's my family, my upbringing, but as much as I love, appreciate, and respect capitalism, it's not the end all be all to everything in my life. Making money, it's very important and you need it to live and sustain yourself or your family or your livelihood in any particular country that you live in. But it's not the only thing. There's love, there's mutual respect, there's compassion, there's helping each other. There's a million other things that that carries quite a lot of favor and supremacy over just being wealthy, right? Wealthy's just not enough. And I've seen enough people, I've known enough people in my life that are wealthy. And it's like, damn, they're not nearly as happy as I am. So tells me I'm on the right course. I'm on the right path. Skinny Libertarian, and I love liberty.